Next up, we got the summer Shohei Ohtani broke high school baseball. Now, we just read to how good is Shohei Ohtani actually. And a lot of y'all was saying in that video to check out. First of all, I think his name is Soto Moto, something like that. It was basically both of them. They was the best pitchers on this team. You know what I'm saying? So, I seen this video. I'm like, it's perfect. Now, hopefully, he can go in depth on Moto as well. But we already know Otani was literally goated out of the birth. Out of the womb, Otani was the greatest player of all time. He didn't have to breathe yet. You know what I'm saying? This literally proves it, bro. High school? How are you in high school and already throwing faster than MLB players? What are y'all feeding these kids? I need it. All right? But hey, you want more Otani videos? Hit that like button. Hit that sub button. Let's just have it.
One pitch, and a legend was born. With this offering, Shohei Ohtani lit up a radar gun to a level then unrivaled by his high school peers, 160 kph, or roughly 100 miles per hour. No one in the fabled history of Japanese high school baseball had reached this apex, or at least not on anywhere near as big of a stage. Some of you might wonder, doesn't this thing happen at just about every perfect game showcase? You wouldn't be wrong. However, not in 2012, and certainly not from a guy who could also boast the power potential of a prime Hideki Matsui. Still, it might strike some as odd, maybe even preposterous, that this single high school pitch thrown 11 years ago would still have an impact today. But, and excuse me for saying this, you'd be wrong. Because, let's never forget this, no one had really heard of Shohei back then, and no one had considered what he could do was even possible, until that offering. When Shohei threw that famed 100-mile-per-hour pitch, he was playing for Hanamaki Higashi High School, coached by the legendary Hiroshi Sasaki. Like his now constant comparison, Babe Ruth, Ohtani lived in a dorm during high school, away from his family. People have likened Ohtani's baseball upbringing to a near religious one, similar to the Babe's, because Sasaki's program demanded total dedication. No junk food, no girlfriends, very limited screen time, and hours every day devoted to baseball. Ruth was literally taught and coached by monks, and he dwelled within the walls of an industrial school where baseball became his overwhelming passion. But here's where the 100-mile-per-hour pitch becomes even more poignant. During his first year at Hanamaki Higashi in 2010, Sasaki didn't even pitch Ohtani. He played him everywhere except pitcher, even though Shohei could hit 87 miles per hour with his fastball at just 14. Sasaki didn't want to rush the project's development after all. Ohtani was 6'2" even then, but very thin and could barely bench press the bar. The fact that Ohtani was even at a private school that was known for being elite when it comes to baseball was directly inspired by one person, a near contemporary of his at the time, Yusei Kikuchi, who currently pitches for the Toronto Blue Jays. But before we get more into that, I want to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, and how you can still stretch or no regular stretches. You can footsteps and be the leader of this prestigious program. Yusei had gained acclaim and fame over the Shen meets in Japan 9, when a lefty who could touch the upload MTC and get that first deposit doubled, so you can draft in the 7th inning stretch today. Now, back to our video. Kikuchi was the best high school pitcher in the country, a lefty who could touch the upper 90s with his heater. Ohtani wanted to follow in Kikuchi's footsteps and be the leader of this prestigious program. Yusei had gained acclaim and fame over the summer of 2009 when he led the team to the semifinals of the National High School Baseball Championship of Japan, aka Summer Kosen. Before we go further, we need to talk a little bit about what the Kosen means in Japan. There are 2 Kosen tournaments in Japan, the spring and the summer tournaments. Spring is an invitational, while summer pits all 4,000 high schools in the country in a single elimination battle.
He just slide into first base? Okay, buddy. Did he just slide into first base? Am I tripping?
While summer pits all 4,000 high
That's first base, bro. Bro just slid to first base.
schools in the country in a single elimination battle to determine the country's champion. Both tournaments are nationally televised, but it's summer that has a history that stretches back over 100 years, and is a Japanese touchstone along the lines of Hoosiers meets the Super Bowl. One of the main reasons that baseball players in Japan work as diligently as they do is to take their team to the Summer Kosen. Out of the 4,000 teams that begin, only 49 make it to the hallowed Kosen Stadium in Osaka in August.
Wow.
Each of the 47 prefects has its own tournament and sends the winner on to Osaka, though Tokyo and Hokkaido send 2 due to their massive size. These individual prefecture
I just know they sweet, bro. Because I just remember growing up playing baseball, like, we was good in, like, our league or our, you know what I'm saying, our league. But when it came to trying to do travel ball, bro, that's a different beast, bro. They are amazing. You know what I'm saying? So I already know everybody training for the same thing, trying to get to this tournament. Oh my god, they are the top of the top, bro. Jeez, I really wish like we could see like a full game. You know what I'm saying? Highlights of when they used to play back then. Because I just know everybody was sweet, bro. I just know.
Though Tokyo and Hokkaido send two due to their massive size. These individual prefecture games are televised. In fact, so many people watch it on TV that the country's power grid is put under strain. Heroes emerge from the games, and fan favorites become national icons. Kikuchi joined a long list of warrior hurlers for his performance in 2009, when he bravely went out to pitch in a semifinal game with a broken rib. He was in agony, but tried to gut through it. His team lost, and he bravely shed tears of devastation, a tragic sight in front of millions watching at home. This is part of the spectacle of Kosen. There is one winner and 3,999 losers. What other tournament can claim numbers like this? Otani's parents let him make his own decision about where to attend high school. He could have gone to a public and they would have supported him, but the allure of being the next Kikuchi was too much to pass up. But there was something else that made Otani take notice of Yusei. Kikuchi was thinking of bypassing the MPP draft entirely and making himself an MLB free agent right out of high school. You see, Otani had made it no secret he wanted to go straight to the US to begin his career, just like Kikuchi had announced in 2009. No Japanese high schooler had ever done so. Ichiro, Daisuke, Matsui, Nomo all had played in MPB before coming to the United States. Kikuchi was serious about being a pioneer. MLB scouts were watching and many teams expressed interest in signing him. Young Otani watched this drama unfold, with the best players, heroes from the Summer Kosen, go to rookie ball in Modesto now, instead of staying in Japan and becoming near overnight superstars. In the end, Kikuchi was taken first overall by the Cebu Lions and stayed in Japan until he was eligible to be posted when he reached 27. Otani, however, had other ideas. Hiroshi Sasaki didn't just look at himself as a baseball coach. He was an educator, and he wanted to make his players the best versions of themselves they could be on and off the field. He fervently believed that students needed goals and a plan to reach these goals, so he had players write down their own personal aims and refer to them often for guidance.
I like that.
Otani's goal for when he turned 18 was simple: play for an
Shohei Ohtani life goals. Yo, I low-key want to do this. Make a goal for every single year, every single age, leading up to about 42. That's smart. I've never thought about it like that, bro. Because you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't know if you guys can relate, but sometimes I be feeling behind in life. Like sometimes I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm not where I want to be. But that's only because I have high aspirations for myself. I want to be, you know what I'm saying, successful. You know what I mean? I hold myself to a high standard. So sometimes, you know what I mean, I just, if I'm not there, if I'm not successful, I feel like I'm losing. You know what I mean? So anybody who goals in life, you probably can understand. Like, you feel like you're behind. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, I'm 21 right now. This is no ego, by the way, but me versus the average 21-year-old, I'm running laps around him, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's no ego, bro. I'm just being honest. But I still feel behind. You know what I'm saying? And something I had to learn was I'm only 21 years old. Like, I'm young. When I talk to people who's older than me, it's like 40, 50, they be saying, like, you 21? You don't know, you haven't even seen life yet. And that really opens my mind, because, like, I be thinking, like, shit, I seen life already. Or you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not where I want to be. So I feel like a failure. But the whole time, I'm only 21 years old, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I just literally came to that realization probably, like, this last, like, 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Where you're telling myself, like, yeah, I'm only 21. You know what I mean? And yeah, bro. So, this is crazy. This is literally perfect right here. Like, so every age have a goal of where you want to accomplish. So by the time you it's your birthday, you look at this goal and you'll be like, okay, did I reach it or not? You know what I mean? So okay, I like this. Let's read real quick. Join MLB team at 18. Okay, master English. Yeah, I like that. Did he even master English? I don't know. He still be using a translator, so I don't know. Reach AAA. I don't know what that is. Call up to majors. Make $1.5 billion. 13 billion. Okay. Strong rotation. 16 win. Oh, starting rotation. win the Cy Young. I think he did. Member of Japan. He did. He definitely did this. Throw a no-hitter and 25 win. I don't know if he did that or not. Throw fastest pitch in the world. Ooh, he might have. I don't think he in the world is crazy. I think he came close. Win the World Series and get married. I think he did this. I think he actually did this. No. He didn't win. I thought you were talking about the World Baseball Classic. He won the World Baseball Classic, but he didn't win the World Series. I think he's married though. Member of Japan, World Baseball. He did do this. Let's see if he keeps on.
MLB turned to them often for guidance. Otani's goal for when he turned 18 was simple: play for an MLB team. He wrote this down during his first year in high school. But Sasaki was also a gardener, and he knew that plants needed a big pot in order to grow healthy and strong. He knew that Shohei was a special talent, and so he would have to set an especially lofty goal for his prized pupil, throwing 160 kph in high school. After all, Kikuchi had gained weight and added velo to his fastball during his time at the institution. The same could happen with Otani. The fact that Otani actually reached this goal almost disappointed Sasaki. To him, it meant that he'd actually set the bar too low, or the pot for his plant was too small. Later, he'd say that the goal should have been 163 for Otani. As for Shohei's goal, he was dead serious about not playing in Japan.
Otani plays
told every
outfield.
team in the MPB not to draft him, that he was definitely going to the show, and every team in Japan took him at his word, except one, the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. But could they sign him? It was Otani's dream to be an MLB star. What could dissuade him? Well, after many long conversations about the bus rides to Modesto and Rookie Ball, where no one speaks Japanese and you stay in low-rent hotels and eat crummy food, all at the tender age of 18, Otani found himself leaning away from this original plan. So he stayed. Otani had saw the dark underside of American pro ball, one he'd have to spend at least a few years in, and had decided against the decision. Perhaps even more importantly, however, the Ham Fighters had also said, when you're ready to go, we'll post you. Another aspect of why he decided to stay was the fact that they had offered to let him pitch and hit, something no MLB club would guarantee. And here, the echoes of Babe Ruth are heard again. When leaving St. Mary's, Ruth signed his first contract with his hometown team, the Baltimore Orioles, then in the International League. They let him hit and pitch, a trend he continued even as he broke in with the Red Sox in 1914. If the Babe or Otani had started their careers under different circumstances, the majesty of their journey may have been greatly diminished. So, as we've established, the spring and summer Kosen tournaments earned baseball players in Japan eternal glory, and that 100-mile-per-hour pitch was the high water mark of Otani's high school career, at least on a national stage. However, it didn't take place at Kosen Stadium. Each high school player has 3 seasons to qualify for summer Kosen, or get invited to spring Kosen. Otani didn't pitch in 2010, but he did hit. Unfortunately, not quite enough for his team to advance to Osaka. Sasaki wanted to wait until Otani had been with the team for one summer before putting him on the mound, which he did in the fall. In 2011, during his second year in high school, Otani was now throwing between 93 and 95 miles per hour, a ridiculous mark for a 15-year-old. The reason Sasaki wanted to be careful with Otani was that he was still growing. His body was still developing, and with his long arms and legs, issues can arise in the so-called growth plates. Cartilage is located at the end of long bones, where new growth is occurring in children and teens. Until growth plates close, they're kind of rubbery and can be susceptible to overuse injuries. And as 2011 Summer Kosen approached, Otani started having some growth plate issues in his hip, and Sasaki didn't hesitate to scale back his pitching. Even though Hanamaki Higashi qualified for the Summer Kosen by winning the I-Weight Championship, in the first round Sasaki didn't start Otani at pitcher, but put him in right field instead and batted him third. He ended up coming in to relieve and losing a heartbreaking 8-7 loss. He hit 93 on the radar gun with his fastest pitch and also featured a slow curve and sharp slider. His control was spotty, but the defense behind him was even spottier. At the plate, he went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs on a single that nearly knocked down the left field wall. At this point, Otani might not have been a national hero or a worldwide phenomenon, but everything was set up for Otani's final push for greatness. In 2012, Otani would be an adult, in size and in age. That was the year that the best high school player in the world might lead Hanamaki Higashi High School to 2 championships, the spring and summer Kosen. Only 5 schools in Japanese history had done it, including Daisuke Matsuzaka in 1998, who threw over 800 pitches in 2 weeks of the summer leg. But it wouldn't happen for Shohei. Spring was invitational, but still a national sensation. All of the games are indeed played at Kosen Stadium, built in 1924 and modeled after the Polo Grounds. The infield dirt is considered sacred, and players scoop it up for keepsake after games. Otani's team was scheduled to play powerhouse Osaka Toin High School, led by a pitcher many scouts had ranked higher as a prospect than Otani at the time, current Oakland A's reliever Shintaro Fujinami. After all, Fujinami was another lanky righty who threw hard, but with arguably better off-speed pitches at the time, making him a very coveted asset on a baseball team. In fact, in the MPB draft, Fujinami was the first pick overall, or to be precise, he was named by 4 teams to be their first round selection, the most of any player. A lottery allowed the Hanshin Tigers to sign him. The matchup between the two superstars turned out to be a bit of a dud, with Toin and Fujinami prevailing 9-2. Ohtani started and gave up all the runs, 5 of which were earned. He fanned 11, but also walked 11. The raw stuff was evident, but the command was sketchy at best. In the 6th inning, the team suffered a defensive collapse, and the rout was on. The bright spot for Shohei was the homer he did manage to club off of Fujinami. Toin went on to win the spring Kosen, while Otani had to go back to Iwate and then grind through the prefecture tournament with the hopes of qualifying for a return to Kosen for the All-Japan tournament in August. The pressure was immense. One loss at any level of Kosen spells doom and the team is eliminated. There is no special invite for teams that have great or notable players. One stumble and the season ends. And so, once again we circle back to July 19th, 2012 in the 6th inning of the Iwate Regional Semifinal, when Otani delivered that famous pitch that sent shockwaves not only throughout his own country, but the world. No one had ever hit that number at that young of an age in that tournament. No one. And the guy who did it was also the best hitter on the team. In the spring Kosen, Otani's max velo had sat at 95, about the same as what Kikuchi and Fujinami threw. Fast, but not necessarily out of the ordinary. He also featured a curveball and slider, but again, he couldn't control his pitches.
Also, too, why in Japan, is no grass on the field? Is it a reason for that? I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
By summer, Shohei was starting to repeat his delivery with more consistency, and suddenly 95 turned into 100, a completely different beast, and the world started to take notice. But fate can be cruel. In the final of the Iwate tournament, Otani struck out 15, but again, the defense behind him faltered and his team lost, depriving him of the chance to finish his career at Summer Kosen with the ultimate prize. The star instead was Fujinami, who led Toin to victory with a pair of shutouts in the semis and finals. So, Toin won both Kosens in 2012, with Otani coming away with a big goose egg. But still, he had left a mark on the sporting world that would not soon be forgotten. He had proved it was possible to be a superstar two-way player on the country's biggest amateur stage, paving the way for a career in both the NPB and the MLB that we haven't seen in the history of this great sport. Shohei Ohtani is a big manga fan, the Japanese cartoons that feature otherworldly characters. Growing up, he read Major, a pitcher who throws 102 and hits prodigious home runs. Sound familiar? As Otani has said, just getting to the Summer Kosen is very difficult.
I love anime.
No, having been knocked out of it without winning his prefecture tournament in the past. If anything, this shows how well prepared Japanese high schoolers are, that a true all-time talent, possibly the greatest player in history, could take the bump, strike out 15, and still take the loss. But, as we said before, the true majesty of that summer, regardless of the outcome, wasn't who won the final game. Instead, it came in a sports-altering moment, in a single pitch that broke the mold of what high school baseball players could do, and what they might be allowed to do at the next level. Today, Shohei was the most famous baseball player in the world, and perhaps the most impactful, but let's not forget, it all had to start somewhere, and for many around the world, it was in 2012, in the Summer Kosen, when Otani changed everything.
Dang, that's crazy, bro. Just inspirational, bro. Shout out to Otani, bro. Otani literally the GOAT. Let me know if you want more Otani videos. I love y'all. Yeah.